Hello everyone, this is Dawn. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do a single page layout that will function as the closing page to my cruise scrapbook. So I'm going to use an older collection from Close to My Heart called Let's Go Anywhere, and we're revisiting this collection. Earlier in the scrapbook I used this for pictures while we were at the airport. So continuing the theme of using similar collections. And the pictures that I'm going to scrapbook are of various photos taken throughout the cruise, and they're some of my favorites. So I've printed these out at 3x3, and I'm going to do a grid style layout. So my base, I'm going to use white daisy, but you won't see any of it. I'm going to gut this pattern paper. It has little passports all over it. So I'm going to create a border around the edge using this pattern. And it just makes it easier to put things together when you have a base page. So I'm using that piece of white daisy. You don't have to, but like I said, it's quicker and easier to use it, even though you won't see any of it. So this is how you gut a page, because we're just going to see the outside edges, and I'm going to be able to use that center cutout for another project. So I'm just going at 2 inches, and then I'm dropping my blade down at 2 inches and taking it down, cutting to 10 inches. So I'm placing my paper 2 inches in, dropping the blade at 2 inches and cutting to 10 inches. And then I take that square out of the middle to save for something else. Okay, so we'll get everything out of the way, and that's how it's going to sit on that piece of white daisy. Now I'm going to layer in another piece. This is sapphire, but you could use Night of Navy. And I'm going to cut this at 10 by 10. So we'll go ahead and cut 2 inches off each side. I'm going to do a lot of layering on this layout. It's going to close out my book, so I want it to be kind of special, so it's going to have lots of layers, but it is quick and easy to put together. So I'm going to use this next piece of pattern paper, and it has sort of a grid look to it, or maybe ledger paper. It's very subtle, but I'm going to use that, and I'm going to cut that down to 9 3/4 square. So there's going to be a tiny bit of blue sapphire showing around the edges. So we'll go ahead and trim around this one. So I like to pull favorite pictures from a trip to revisit on the closing page, and just do a quick grid style or collage page to show to recap all of the days on the cruise. So we'll layer this in, and then we'll bring our pictures in. So got a few from each day, from St. Thomas and Antigua, Grenada, and the whole group, and my husband again in St. Thomas. So I'll probably shift these photos around, but that's going to be the general layout. So I'm going to mat these pictures. So I want a tiny bit of this green map paper to peek out from each of the photos to help them pop from the page. So a quick word about my filming surface here. I was at a retreat this weekend, and like I've mentioned before, it's a work in progress. I'm working with how my setup is going to be, and trying to get the best filming surface here so that I can do scrapbooking at retreats and capture it on film. So that being said, at the very end of this video, I either forgot to turn the camera on or had a little malfunction, but I did not capture the last bit of creating this layout. So I'll explain it. It's very simple, and yeah, that'll be in a minute or two. So, okay, so I'm cutting tiny mats for each of these photos. We'll get everything laid out. I want to make sure it's all going to fit. Not tiny mats, but mats with tiny borders for each of these photos. So we'll see how that looks and make sure they all fit. And then off camera, I'll go ahead and cut the other ones for all the other photos. Just making sure we'll have just a tiny bit of that grid paper showing in between each of these photos. And then to make them pop even more, I'm going to ink around the edges of each of these mats with Mossy Meadow. So I have my sponge applicator, and I'm just gonna quickly ink around each of these squares. So won't make you watch me do them all. I'll complete everything off camera. So yeah, this was a fun cruise. We like to cruise with friends, and it's sort of what we like to do is everyone has different tastes and different interests, and so we all book our own excursions, and then we meet up at dinner time to talk about our day. So it's lots of fun. Okay, so these are the stickers that are part of the Let's Go Anywhere collection. You might have some travel themed collections, so go through your stash, see what you have. You can easily use this design and adapt it to another collection. So I'm just pulling some stickers. This is going to be a real simple layout. So I'm going to do an embellishment cluster with stickers in the center. So we have a travel tag and a little compass, and I'll bring in a couple more stickers. Just reading everything and seeing. So the ship that we cruised on, it was the Adventure. So definitely want this passport sticker. Put that there, and then we'll find this other one that says See the World. And then there's a sticker that says Adventure. Okay, so we'll put that one in there, and we'll pull a couple more choices, right? So I didn't want this one to be too close to the tag because, you know, red and green, but I'm just going to tuck this one down right there. I think that works. And then we'll pull another sticker, this large round one. We'll place up in the other open square there. Okay. Still looking at the sticker, seeing if there's anything else I want. Eventually I'll add another one, but that'll be off camera. And then this is shimmer trim. It is the pine colored shimmer trim. And I'm going to create a faux tag with this. So I'm just going to cut a bit off, and then I will cut it in half so it's a 1/4 inch, and then I'll just angle the ends and I'll stick those down at the top of the tag so that it looks like a ribbon. So this is where my video is going to cut off in a minute, and I'll have a close-up shot at the end, but I scattered some muted palette dots around, and these are in Mossy Meadow. So here's a close-up shot. So I'll have close-ups again at still photos at on my Facebook page and Instagram account. Take a look at those, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button, and then you'll be able to find all of my videos. And thanks for watching.